Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you with another true crime reading. Almost said episode. This time it is on Unsolved Mysteries, episode 6. Where is Joshua, or what happened to Josh? So Joshua Guimond went missing, I think in the early 2000s. And was never found. His body was never found. No one knows of any idea what happened to him, and it was on a college campus. Now, if you haven't watched the episode, you need to go watch it. I've done a whole series on all the episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. So this one, right off the bat, I can tell you that I had suspicions about his sexuality from the minute he was on the screen. The red flags I had seen were one, I mean, he was good looking, but that's not even the thing. His demeanor, super likable, outgoing, want to be friends with everyone, right? 2, he had a high school sweetheart, and in college still together, a little bit of red flag. From a little bit more of a conservative place in the Midwest, and went to a college campus that was a little bit religious. And he had, he wanted to be not only politician, but the president of the United States. All of those combined was making me think that he was a little bit less straight than everyone would like to think. And that's literally what I said in the beginning. And then when they showed the poster of Gwen Stefani, I was like, he's one of us. So, I mean, to hear by the end of the episode that they found alleged, gay pornography on his computer, and he was trying to be a girl online, allegedly, with the screen name Gwen Girl Big Jugs. Now, you could make an argument that he was trolling, or his friends were trolling, or that it was someone else on his computer, but there were M for M ads in the Yahoo personals allegedly as well, and I'm just not super shocked. That's all I'll say. And so there definitely was something going on there. That was something that I was thinking about from the beginning, and it was just confirmed. Also, his best friend, to me, very bizarre behavior, pegged him as not telling the full truth. So I don't know. We'll have to look at that. And then his girlfriend was the biggest red flag to me. So the biggest red flag, and I'm just telling you what I picked up on the episode before I dive into the reading. The biggest red flag for me is his girlfriend, and no one's noticing this. Why are you okay with being called his girlfriend when by the end of the episode we find out that you were not his girlfriend and you guys had broken up? And we find out that you were hooking up with his best friend. She said they were just kissing, but he was at your place past midnight. No. So I don't believe that. And it's just weird to me. She's very much like crying. She's like, oh my God, we were together forever. He was my high school sweetheart, but you had broken up for months before he disappeared. You were not his girlfriend. So why are you comfortable being called his girlfriend? I would feel uncomfortable calling someone my boyfriend if we had broken up and then he went missing. It's just weird that all these time later, she's still comfortable saying that you were not his girlfriend. So it's very weird. It's also weird when they bring up the fact that he could have potentially been gay, and the evidence is there of there being stuff on his computer, and her being in complete denial, going, he could never. No, that's news to me. No, we were dating forever. So denial is very strong with her. So to me, it's like she might be a little bit oblivious, and there's no shade to her because I'm sure she's grieving, but those are all red flags to me in terms of her not always being aware of what's actually happening in front of her. Like, her character to me comes in question, because if you're that like tunnel visioned, it means you're either oblivious to something, or perhaps you're just super naive and in denial. So those are the 2 big red flags that showed up to me right off the bat. I know their story doesn't 100% add up by the end of the episode, but who knows? It could be a red herring. So remember, these readings are all alleged for entertainment only, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I want to look at Josh in the beginning. I want to see where Josh's mind was. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So I want to see what was going through Josh's mind, where he was at, and like mentally, and what was going on. The 4 of Wands. Okay, so that is his environment, and it's reversed. That's about him wanting to escape his environment. So I don't think that he was happy with the people he was at, the places he was at, and the energy around him. Yes, the 4 of Cups is about apathy and disappointment. The Knight of Pentacles, consistency. And the 5 of Cups, emotional disappointment. I think that he wanted out. I think that he wanted to maybe move out. I know he was living with his alleged best friend in the dorm. I think maybe he wanted to move out. I think he wanted a change of pace. I think he wanted to leave the campus. I wouldn't be surprised if he was researching some of the allegations that were happening on campus at the time. There were allegedly SA allegations that were happening on campus. I wouldn't be surprised if he was researching them. There is something that he wanted. So there's something that caused him to want to leave. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. Let's move these over here. The Queen of Pentacles is reversed. The Knight of Swords is reversed. And the King of Wands is reversed. He definitely was sitting on information that could cause someone to lose business or money. That I can tell you. He definitely was either almost at the cusp of finding out something or already found out something about someone that could cause them to lose money. Because I see that as someone being worried about either their future, their career, or their money, or their business. So he definitely had something on someone. I don't know if he realized this or not, but he had information on someone. I also do not believe that him and his best friend did not fight over his girlfriend. You cannot convince me otherwise. The Queen of Swords is there, the Page of Pentacles, and the Lover's card. I do believe that his best friend wanted his girlfriend from the beginning. I think he always had a crush on her. I do think his best friend was a bit competitive with him. I think he felt a little bit jealous and wanted sort of the stuff that he had. I think his best friend felt like it was easier for him. The Lover's card and the Queen of Swords. I also think that this girl played both of them. I don't know if she's going to admit to doing this intentionally, and maybe I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say she did this unintentionally, but you're not going to get me to believe that she didn't pit the two of them against each other at some point in her life, because the Queen of Swords is very savvy and knows what she's saying and doing, and the Page of Pentacles, the Lover's card, would be about expectations and love. So that's about getting caught between two people. So I absolutely do think that she caused problems between the two of them. Whether or not she admits to doing that on purpose or not, I don't care. It's not my business. But it did happen, and it is there, allegedly, for chambers only. That's what I see. See, Judgment card is reversed, which is about embarrassment or embarrassing. The Moon is reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles. And I also see her sharing things with his best friend that she shouldn't. I do not think, I wouldn't peg her as someone that kept quiet about certain things. I think it's very easy to get her to talk. Now, granted, you could say she's extremely naive. Absolutely. You could totally say that she's naive and that she didn't realize all this was going on. Am I going to believe that 100%? No. But maybe. Okay. Now the Moon is reversed in the Eight of Pentacles and the Judgment card, though, which means that she spilled some secrets that she should not have spilled, and she said some things she should not have said. She might not even remember this. Maybe she was drunk. I don't know. But she said some things that she shouldn't have said to the best friend and to other people. So to me, she was just a risk because she was talking too much. I think she told too many people too many things. Yes, she was used as bait. So if I were a police investigator, I would interview her and I would ask, who are all the people that you saw and you talked to before his disappearance, and how many of them are people you talk to on a consistent basis, and what did you talk about? Because there are people that were digging information out of her that I don't know if she really realizes that she gave away. The Six of Swords is reversed, the Three of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. These are people that have that are putting in work to get in the middle of something. And the Six of Swords makes me think of the computer or the internet. So it makes me feel like something he was researching or something he was interested in. Or maybe it ended up being something that, maybe someone was going to expose the M to M or M for M, our personals or something, or maybe he was going to expose somebody. I don't know. All I can tell you is there was definitely information that someone was fishing out of her or perhaps giving to her. I'm not really sure how the exchange went, but I would give her the benefit of the doubt here and say that someone was fishing from her. Okay. Granted, I mean, she's a college-age girl. I mean, I don't really, I don't really think it's worthy of demonizing her. It's like, girl, when I was 20, 21, 23, whatever, how old she was, I was doing stupid shit with boys. So it's not really that big of a deal, but it's there. Okay. Five of Wands, Temperance, and World. These two fought 100%. What? I don't believe the narrative that they were high school sweethearts and everything was great. These two fought. I think these two fought, but I think these two fought like smart, like subtly. Cause it just looks like she was like, I see her like having a best friend or a girlfriend that she just tells everything to that she shouldn't have. Like, I just see her as talking too much. You talk too much. You talk too much. That's what I keep hearing. Talks too much. And you know what I'm hearing about his best friend? You're a spineless coward is what I'm hearing. You're a literal spineless coward. Like, in my head, I hear you're a spineless coward and a rat, which means he's the type of person to sell somebody out for himself. the Eight of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Yep. Throwing family out the window and blaming you for things. There were things that I think his best friend was doing that he either framed or was fine with Josh taking the blame. So I definitely think he pushed stuff off onto Josh 100%. 100%. I think he pushed stuff off, allegedly, to Josh and let him take the bait. And if he was in trouble, he would have literally made it seem like Josh was the problem. Okay, now this is all stuff that's going on at the time of his disappearance. It doesn't mean that this stuff is directly related to his disappearance. And I'm getting the feeling that there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that were happening at the same time that aren't necessarily 100% connected. To me, it looks like a lot of people were scared, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's why his computer got wiped. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people were scared that they were going to be blamed for what happened to him because they had bad blood or bad experiences with him, and they were scared of the optics of it, even though they were not to blame for it and they were not related. Because that's what I'm hearing. It's like red herring, but in terms of, yeah, there was bad shit happening all around and people were screwing him over left and right, but at the end of the day, what happened to him may have been something completely different. So we are looking at the Devil, we are looking at the Death card reverse, and the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is about somebody you can't trust. The Devil card here is manipulation. It's also sex sometimes, and the Death card is a death and a rebirth. Sometimes translates to literal, but when it's reversed here, I see it as a change. So that's a change in his routine. I think that perhaps he was going undercover. I think that he was thinking of going undercover to try to figure out something. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of his research was done to bait someone out. I think he may have been thinking about baiting someone to gather information himself. Okay? So I think he may have been trying to set someone else up. Okay, because that's what I'm kind of seeing here was like he had a thought process of baiting people to get information or baiting someone else to get information. Yeah, the Hermit's reversed. The King of Swords reversed, the Two of Wands, the High Priestess. Yes, I do think something sexual related. Allegedly for chambers only, and the High Priestess was reversed, so someone untrustworthy or not so holy. So I do think that he was trying to bait someone into something, almost like to trap them. Interestingly enough, I also see the Devil card and the Two of Wands here as an interest himself in sexual exploration. So I do think there was a part of him that obviously was a little bit less straight than he first appeared. But regardless, to me, it almost seems like he was angry that people were, it's almost like being angry. And I know there were talks about what was going on in the campus at the time with the alleged essay that was going on. It's almost like he was angry that people who were not straight were being framed or put into this light of being predators. That's kind of what I'm seeing, is him almost being like self-righteous in that nature of like being like, this isn't who they really are and this isn't who I really am. So there's almost like a righteousness inside of him. That being said, I do have a question, and I haven't really done any research, and maybe if you have or you are familiar with this case, you can put it in the comments down below. But the Three of Cups is multiple people. The Devil card here, I mean, look at this. These are people in chains, okay? And there's sexual energy related with the Two of Wands and the Devil together. The Death card being reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed. Is it possible that there was some sort of, how do I word this? Is it possible that there could have been a sex trafficking ring or a human trafficking ring or anything of the sort that's somewhat close? It's hard to kind of give you an exact picture of what I'm feeling, but because it's going to be in a metaphor, so I don't really know if it's going to be 100% literal here, but there has to be something underground that is a little bit sex related here that plays a part in this. So I'm not sure. With the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Cups. To me, this seems outside of like his relationships, outside of his friendships, outside of all the drama that was happening in college at the time. You know, yeah, he had issues with his ex. Yeah, he had issues with his friend. But this seems to be outside of that, not the Siren. And so I'm wondering, is it possible that he could have been kidnapped? The Eight of Swords is about being pressured and trapped. The Devil card here, again, with the Three of Cups, I don't know if he was the only one. The Three of Cups makes me think of distrustworthiness, but it's also multiple people. The Nine of Wands, things get worse before they get better. Did anybody else go missing after him? Or was anybody missing that night and reappeared? Because there's something to say about multiple people, potentially three with the Three of Cups. Like there's something, yeah, the Seven of Wands is reversed. Someone disappeared and came back. Someone disappeared and came back. There's the three again, the Three of Swords reversed and the Two of Cups. 3 people go missing, but 2 people return. That's what I'm seeing. 2 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups, 7 of Wands. My alibi does not check out. 3 people go missing, only 2 return. That is what I'm hearing. 3 people go missing, only 2 return. Alibi is not real. 7 of Wands verse. And it also looks like there are other people. This doesn't look like it was just him. This looks like other people. Now, I know on the show they... 7 of Cups. I know on the show they talked about... other murders that could have potentially been related to it, but I'm not sure if it's those ones or something else, because the 7 of Cups is another possibility. The 10 of Pentacles is upright and the 7 of Swords is reversed, which says that there might be money involved. So that's why I'm thinking maybe trafficking or something. I mean, I guess that could technically translate to him trying to find other people to escape. Maybe they escaped somewhere or someone was trying to escape or something like that. That's possible. But I'm going to try and read it in the context of the kidnapping energy here. Again, that could translate to running away, but I'm going to go ahead and just assume that we're on that angle instead. But I could be wrong with that. Could go both ways. But with the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles, I really think that there's some sort of... I just keep feeling like there's something money and business related and trafficking related in this whole thing, especially with the 7 of Cups, which means that there's another possibility. Yeah, dude, there's another possibility with the 9 of Cups, that self-sabotage. I think he thought that he was baiting someone into a trap, but got baited into a trap instead. It's like when I just feel like I could just feel like he thinks he's really smart, which he was, but they were smarter because he was on their turf, if that makes sense. I do think that he was going to try and meet up with someone, but I think he was lured somewhere. And I think he thought he was going to lure them into a trap. It's almost like if I came to you like, oh my God, I have information you're going to want to hear. And then you're like, okay, let me meet up with you. And then boom, you're baited. Like that's what it feels like to me. Self-sabotage, 6 of Pentacles. And this is someone that he had some sort of, there's someone here that like, the 6 of Pentacles, someone he talked to previously, someone he either emailed or got information from, or maybe hooked up with. It could have even been someone he was hooking up with. That could even be it. Maybe it was someone he was hooking up with. I mean, who knows? I mean, especially if his sexuality was in question or something. No. 4 of Swords reversed, and the 2 of Swords reversed, and the Page of Swords. I just feel like he was too valuable. It's weird. It's weird. You know, what's interesting is maybe there was some sort of accident or something. I mean, think about it this way, right? He's trying to be a politician. Maybe someone pretended to be in trouble or they were in trouble. Maybe it was an accidental death. There's the Hierophant, which is the religion card. I don't know. For me, what I'm seeing here is his disappearance is a series of events that aren't all connected, which is why it's going to be really hard to solve this, because about 6 different things happened at once and they're not all related. I will say that I do believe that his best friend is sitting on information that is very valuable, that if he spills, he would be embarrassed, which is why he didn't say anything, and it could potentially harm his career. And I don't think that his best friend realizes how valuable that information is, and he needs to talk. The same thing about the girlfriend. I think there are people that she was speaking to that she doesn't realize have a lot of importance and a lot of information and connect a lot of dots. The party itself, I don't know. I'm not getting much on the party, so I do think he is scheduled to meet someone or something like that, at least, because it looks like him leaving might have been something that he wanted to do himself. I don't know, though. I'm not 100% sure. It's just I'm not really getting anything on that. So that's probably the best I can do here. The information is kind of jumbled, and there's a lot going on, so I could be off and completely wrong. But it just seems like a lot of people were not doing him well. I think a lot of people were doing him dirty. It was a dog-eat-dog world there, I suppose. I do believe that he was at least bisexual, though. And I believe that he definitely had the potential to be successful. Do I think that he was going to be a fucking president? No. No. I think that was a pipe dream. I think when you look at things in hindsight, he had all this potential, and which he did. Do I think that that's the route that he was going to go down? No, he feels more like an investigative journalist than he does a politician to me. He feels more like a righteous person than a politician. So if anything, I would say that he might be more of a local do-gooder than necessarily a politician. I also do think he was a little bit of a troll, but he seems more like the type to troll about things that he actually is interested in, like, oh, isn't this gay, when he's gay himself? So I don't know, allegedly. So anyways, that's what I see. Hopefully you guys liked that. If you did, make sure you tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. It's on YouTube as a heart. It says thanks. You can give me directly. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. I stream live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube now. So until next time, bye and good luck.